Hello everybody and welcome back to Spooky Month, the only month where we post Halloween themed videos all month long. That's right, hopefully you're getting your fix of spooky flicks and frightening videos, because we've been posting every single day so far this month of October 2021, and this year's Spooky Month is just even better. Now for today's video, we're doing a little bit of something that was a little reminiscent of last year. Last year, I think it was the very first video I did for last year's Spooky Month. The very first Spooky Month video of all time was when I went through my entire horror collection, meaning Blu-rays and DVDs, and we just kind of went through them, and we talked about some of our favorite horror movies, and we just had a good old time. Now, this year we're going to be doing the exact same thing, although it's a little different, because my collection has gotten, one could say, way too big. You might be seeing this stack behind me, and all this stuff over here. This is only part of it. My horror collection has just gotten, well, you're gonna see. It's a lot. I'm gonna have to count them up all later because this is oh man. So let's just try to get into the video. The very first batch I have here are films that I got from this giant lot. I made a video a little while ago called buying 700 films for $40. And yes, that is true. There was a thrift store that was kind of going out of business, and I swiped up all of their movies, and they were like, please take it, we don't want our movies. So I was like, I'll buy them with my money, so then I did. And these are all the horror films that I got from it. First off, we have Zombie Fight Club. Never seen it, but, you know what, I'm going to put this to the side. That looks like a good one. Kane and See No Evil. I have a Kane autograph somewhere. Good old Kane. I'm a big wrestling fan, so Kane's awesome. Saw 4. Which one was this again? SWAT Commander Rigg is abducted and thrust into a game. The last officer untouched by Saw. Oh, does this still have, oh, dang it. The Saw movies just all kind of mix together after you're done watching them. The Bloodletting. Vampire Scrolls. Don't worry, I have seen a ton of horror movies, okay? But a lot of these, as I said, I bought them in a lot, so, you know, I haven't seen, or I haven't got around to all of them yet. But a lot of these are just kind of weird ones, you know? Like, Over Your Dead Body. Probably something you'd find in, like, a Walmart bin. Not saying these movies are bad in particular. I'm just saying that, you know, it's different than your other kind of mainstream horror films, I guess. I don't know. But I love all different types. You'll see. Probably one of my favorite horror movies is, if you can even call it that, is House. And I just love House. Houseu. 1977 Nobuhiko Obayashi. The epic Japanese film. But that's for a different time. Hellions. There's Robert Patrick in it. Okay. House in the Alley. These are all DVDs so far. We'll get into the Blu-rays a little bit later. House in the Alley. I wonder what that would look like. What would a house in an alley look like? Constantine. I heard this is a pretty good one. Keanu Reeves. He's fighting like vampires or something like that, right? Is this a horror movie? It's in this horror movie pile. I'm guessing it is. It looks more like an action movie. I can't really tell. Death Valley. The Revenge of Bloody Bill. Don't miss this nail-biting modern horror classic. Ooh. That looks pretty good. I have to give that one. Is that one even in here? It is. Okay, that's good. You might be noticing I'm wearing my good old Joe Bob shirt. I think it's a good occasion to wear it, right? 13 Seconds. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. A lot of exorcism movies out there. Jesus Christ. Taking Lives. Angelina Jolie. Wait, is this a... This looks like a thriller movie. I apologize. This might not be a horror movie. Somebody let me know if Taking Lives is considered a horror movie, if you've seen it. Exorcist the Beginning. This is part of the Exorcist series, right? Yes, the prequel to The Exorcist, the scariest movie of all time. Oh god. Stellan Skarsgård? That's random. Okay, well, I don't know. I've only seen the original one. And I heard that they're doing a sequel. That's right, David Gordon Green and Jason Blumhouse is making a sequel to The Exorcist, and that is crazy. And they have not called up Linda Blair. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. The Cave. The Cave. Joyride. Now, finally, a movie that I have seen. Joyride is like it's a horror movie. It's like a horror thriller. Oh no, it's not in here. God dang it. Well, anyways, this movie's good. Shoot, I should probably check these. But yeah, Steve Zahn. I've always liked Steve Zahn. I think he's a little underrated, to be honest. And rest in peace, Paul Walker, of course. Stephen King's The Golden Years. He has just so many adaptations, I can't even follow them anymore. The first Stephen King book I ever read was Pet Sematary, back in like 6th or 7th grade. And I love that book. And his movies are long, too. You know, big, long. His books are long, sorry. Final Destination 3. Final Destination 1. District 9. This looks like an action movie. Day of the Dead, the remake, of course. I do have the original, which we'll talk about later. I think... Okay, so I think the way this video is going is that we're going to talk about, like, the bottom of the barrel stuff. Or, yeah, these are considered more bottom of the barrel than most horror films, I think. And then we'll go into, like, you know, the movies that at least I enjoy more. And then we'll end up with my favorite horror film of all time. That we're going to save it to the very end. If you know, you know. But anyways. Yeah. Alright, let's keep going. Ooh. Oh, and here we go. Dawn of the Dead. The remake, of course. The Haunting of Molly Hartley. Yep. Okay. We have Sounds Like. Well, that's it. It's just called Sounds Like. From Masters of Horror. Mick Garris, of course. Alright, let's key here. Paranormal Activity. Everybody knows about this series, these movies. The first one was pretty good. Second one was the very first horror movie I ever watched. So, that was... I mean, I'm always going to enjoy the first and second one, of course. I think I have the director's autograph on something from the first movie. But yeah, Paranormal Activity. There's supposed to be a new one that's coming out. It's like Paramount Plus or HBO Max or something. It does not look like Paranormal Activity at all. Let me tell you that. Like, what? It's supposed to be like a found footage type of movie, a security cam type of movie, right? But it's just, I don't know. Next of Kin, I believe. The Grudge. Spooky. The Grudge is spooky. From Dusk Till Dawn 2. I've seen the first one. Is the second one any good? I know there's like 4 of them. Oh, God. Robert Patrick and Danny Trejo are the only 2 people worth noting. Huh, interesting. Last House on the Left, the remake, that is. And there's nothing in there. Felt a little light to me. That's sad. Dawn of the Dead and Land of the Dead. George Romero's Land of the Dead, at least. And Zack Snyder's Dawn of the... Yeah, Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. I love George Romero. Rest in peace. He's the creator, or one of the best zombie film directors ever. The best zombie film director ever. What am I saying? Dark Walker. Oh my God, this just looks like it was filmed on a freaking camcorder. 2003 Chuck Williams Productions. Yep, this is definitely homemade, but you know, they did their best. 28 Days Later. You know, a lot of people absolutely love this film, and they praise Cillian Murphy's performance, which I think he does a pretty good job. I did not like it. as much as most people do. I know that might be a little shocking. Not saying I hated it. The whole aspect was fantastic, especially the opening scenes when he's walking around that deserted city like Rick Grimes. There was actually a lot of films that remind me of The Walking Dead. And of course, The Walking Dead came out after. At least the show did. Were the comics come out before? I don't really know. But anyways, 28 Days Later, good movie. Just not great. Not for me, at least. We have Pro-Life. Pro-Life from John Carpenter. That's actually directed by John Carpenter. Oh, that's cool. I have not seen that. I should probably watch it. Huh, okay. Panic Room. We gotta go through these a little faster because this is gonna be a long freaking video. Hack. Hopefully nobody gets hacked up in this one. Lake Placid. It looks like an alligator movie. Who doesn't like a good alligator movie? Cloverfield. I hate shaky cam. Drag Me to Hell. Oh, it's from Sam Raimi. It's directed by... Why have not... Is it in here? If it's in here, I'm watching it. Okay. Put that to the side. We're going to be putting out movies to the side that I need to be watching. Zombie Fight Club and Drag Me to Hell are in my to-watch list for October so far. Up next, we have The Descent. I heard that this is a crazy, crazy movie. Spectacularly scary. A classic in the making. And these are pretty good reviews. I'm going to put this over to my to-watch list. That one looks pretty good. We have the Amityville Horror and the Amityville Possession. We have The Devil's Tomb. Is this an action? Jesus Christ. I can't tell anymore. Last House on the Left Collector's Edition. Unrated. Ooh, interesting. This is the Wes Craven movie. Oh, I might have to watch this. Is this the original? Yes. Yes. 1972. Okay, I'm watching that because I've never seen Last House on the Left. Stephen King's The Dead Zone, directed by David Cronenberg. A Stephen King David. You must be thinking like, you have these in your collection. Why haven't you sat down and looked at all of them? 700 movies is a lot to go through and research. These I've seen. I'm just looking at some of these movies for the very first time right now. Because I just don't have any time to do life anymore. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. The Crypt Keeper. Hollow Man 2. Huh. For a second I thought it was a sequel to Memoirs of an Invisible Man with Chevy Chase. And I was like, wait, what? It caught me off guard for a second. Alone in the Dark. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. Now, I've seen all the Friday the 13th, Part 7 movies, and they're much more memorable than, let's say, the Saw movies, which I can't even tell them apart from. But looking from the back of this, I see the girl. I see Tina Shepard. This is a crazy supernatural movie, and upon watching it, I was like, what is this? What am I watching? But I think I like it a little bit more now, because that movie just goes in places that movies today just frankly don't go in anymore. Army of Darkness, one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Yes, I said it. I love Army of Darkness. Not as good as Evil Dead 2, maybe even 1. But still one of the greatest, because that whole trilogy is just great. How could you not like Evil Dead? The Crazies! I've seen this one. I know it's a remake of George Romero's film, but I have seen it, and I actually really liked it. It was really spooky. And like, I don't know, it's an entertaining movie, you know? The Ring, everyone's seen that. Texas Chainsaw, inspired by a true story. This is the one where like Michael Bay produced it. Yeah, I have not seen this one. The Monkey's Paw, The Blair Witch Project. I didn't even know I owned this, but I'm glad I do, because this movie scared me when I was little. I know, I won't go into spoilers, never mind. Alien vs. Predator, not really a horror movie, yes, I know. It's like more of like a sci-fi action. But still, Alien, the Predator, horror-ish franchises, at least with the first installments, I don't know. Possessor, now I have a lot to say about Possessor. Not really, but what I might say might shock you. So I know this is from David Cronenberg's son, and it has Sean Bean in it, from what I can remember, and it has this girl who's going through a lot of it's like an experiment. They're working on her brain or something, I believe. I have seen a lot of stuff, so it's kind of hard to remember. And I just can't remember things in general. I usually just watch a movie, and if it's really good, I remember it. If it's not so good, I completely just take it out of my brain. And this is one of those films. I enjoyed it for the most part, but I didn't understand why people were calling it the first great sci-fi movie, horror movie of the decade. It went to Sundance. Oh my god. The praise for that movie was crazy, and The Prisoners of the Ghostland, the new Nicolas Cage movie, I thought was even better than that. And you can consider that a sci-fi horror movie. So, Saw. Everybody's seen Saw. Saw 6 director's cuts. I have not seen the director's cut, but cool. Creepshow. Never forget Stephen King just getting eaten up by like moss. Crazy. Silver Bullets. Another Stephen King movie. Jesus Christ, a lot of Stephen King here. But this is the one with Gary Busey, and he's like wrestling a werewolf. Good fun. Hostel. Eli Roth. Pretty gory movie. My dad showed it to me, and he was like, "Look at this! This is the goriest movie ever." And I'm all like, "Yeah." He's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Well, you haven't seen like Cannibal Holocaust or Dead Alive," which Eli Roth is clearly inspired from, especially Cannibal Holocaust. Have you seen Green Inferno? Oh my god. Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness, the director's cut. Now I know this is the director's cut of Army of Darkness. I'm not really sure what the changes are exactly, but I might have to put that over to the side. I might have to watch that. All Hallows Eve, terrible movie. I hated that. I know there's another one, Terrifier, which is supposed to be better. I have not seen it yet. Hellfest, actually a good movie. Hellfest, I know I'm probably coming up with crazy, opinions about these films, but god dang it. Hellfest was a lot of fun. And, I just love the whole kind of spirit of going to a maze, a haunted house with your friends, which hopefully I'm planning on doing next week with some of my own friends, but they're all too scared, so they might flake out, so we'll see. Anyways, Hellfest with Tony Todd. I had the chance of meeting Tony Todd like 3 different times, and I just didn't meet him, and I'm just so mad about that. Anyways, I'm gonna grab another stack. Next up, I was talking about this earlier, and I have a few more of the same kind. These are some of the Criterion movies that I have. House, Houseu, Nobuhiko Obayashi, rest in peace. He passed away last year, I believe. Very, very sad. But anyways, House is absolutely wild. And I feel like I've talked about this movie on this channel before. But to all you new people out there, House is... It's just about a couple of schoolgirls who are going out after a day at school, and they're like, "Hey, let's go to our friend's grandmother's, or friend's aunt's house in the middle of absolutely nowhere." They're like, "Okay, that sounds like a great idea. We'll go spend the night." And they did, and spooky and kooky things happened to them while inside, and oh my god, you just kind of have to see it for yourself, because, it's wild. Alright, next up we have Haxon. It's a crazy documentary from like the 1920s. That's just like, it's hard to explain. It's just about witchcraft and like cults and monsters and demons, but they're presenting it as like real information, real facts that they're giving to you. And all these kinds of cults and stuff have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's like reenacted with real people as well, and it makes it so interesting because it's a silent film. It's from the 20s. Sound wasn't invented yet, right? Yes, sound was not invented until, what was it? Oh god, 1926. Al Jolson, the jazz singer. Sorry, I'm trying to get my movie knowledge back up to date. It's been a while since I've talked about movies like this. Next up, we have 2 David Lynch films. Of course, we have Eraserhead. You know me, I love Eraserhead. It's one of my favorites ever. Top 5 movies I've ever seen. Horror movies and regular movies. Top 5. And of course, we have Twin Peaks Firewalk with me on the Criterion as well. It's kind of like a horror, drama, mystery, thriller, but it's quite shocking and scary, and it makes sense if you've seen Twin Peaks. You know, you kind of have to watch the show and then go back and watch this one. Even though this is a prequel, technically, it would make the experience a lot more entertaining if you watch the show first. I'm gonna go grab some more movies. We have a couple more movies here in this pile. Our first Blu-ray of the day, Jennifer's Body, Megan Fox. Ooh, a nice little Hammer Films collection. A little dusty there, but we have a whole bunch of Hammer Films on here. The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, Scream of Fear, The Gorgon. All great movies. I love all three of those. Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll I probably like the most, and then it goes Scream of Fear, and then it goes to The Gorgon. Actually, maybe swap Scream of Fear and Dr. Jekyll. It's hard. But anyways, you can't go wrong with horror, especially if it's Terrence Fisher, especially if it has some sort of Christopher Lee or Peter Cushing presence in it. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with Robert De Niro. If you're a horror collector like me, or if you're a DVD collector, anyways, you know that these giant packs of horror films are just probably the worst quality films put out there, or some of the worst. They just compress like hundreds of movies on these little discs here, and they just come out in bad quality because all these films are public domain. Even stuff like Night of the Living Dead and House on Haunted Hill is all public domain. So I'm not saying that these movies are bad or anything. There's some really good ones. White Zombie, even Attack of the Giant Leeches is pretty funny. So yeah, good stuff on there, but it's just different. I think Carnival of Souls is on there as well, and I heard that's gonna. Well, it already is on Criterion. I don't know. Never mind. The Fly, Return of the Fly. Vincent Price as The Fly is pretty great. Monster movie mashup. I found this at a random Target in like a $2.50 bin. I was like, what? Why is it a $2.50 bin? Sorry, Walmart. A $2.50 bin at Walmart. Anyways. We have Night of the Living Dead, Count Dracula and his Vampire, Nightmare Castle, The Devil's Nightmare, The She-Beast, Snow Beast, and last but not least, The Werewolf versus the Vampire Woman, all from the 60s and 70s. My god. I've only seen Night of the Living Dead on here. I need to watch more. And Nightmare Castle, of course, with the great Barbara Steele, who is in a movie, not in this pile, but I have one that I just bought. Anyway, we have 4 more Hammer films. Horror of Dracula, Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, Taste the Blood of Dracula, and Dracula A.D. 1972. I wish I had The Brides of Dracula, with Peter Cushing playing, of course. Oh my god, did I just forget Peter Cushing's character? What is he? No, I can't forget. Who's the guy that goes after Dracula? What is his god dang name? Oh my god, I am drawing a blank. I'm so sorry. This is gonna bug me if I don't figure this out right now. Brides of Dracula. Van Helsing! Jesus Christ, Van Helsing. Oh my god. Well, here's 4 more Dracula movies anyway. Sorry, a bit of a mixture, actually. Dracula Risen from the Grave, Frankenstein. Here you go. Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, Curse of Frankenstein, and Horror of Dracula, again. I watched The Curse of Frankenstein, and that was pretty cool. Christopher Lee playing Frankenstein in their own kind of twisty way. Theater of Blood and Madhouse. Absolutely loved Madhouse. If you're a fan of Vincent Price movies, then you will love Madhouse. So basically, he's just playing like this aging film star, and he goes a little crazy, like goes a little wacko, playing himself basically, almost. Blood Feast 2, the sequel to Herschel Gordon Lewis's classic splatter film. This was made in like the 2000s, I believe, right? And he just made it because of money. We all know Herschel Gordon Lewis is just, he's not the greatest filmmaker, but, he did it for the money, basically. 2001. Yeah, haven't seen the sequel yet, but the original's pretty good. The Monster That Challenged the World. Ooh, some of the midnight movies we have here go for quite a few dollars because I don't know why, but these midnight movies, these types of DVDs, you just can't really find them too much anymore. Morons from Outer Space and Alien from LA. Panic in the Year Zero and The Last Man on Earth. Last Man on Earth is quite creepy. Of course, it came before I Am Legend, which is the same story. What's the Matter with Helen? And Whoever Slew Auntie Roo. I always love that title, Whoever Slew Auntie Roo. The Haunted Palace and the Tower of London, both Roger Corman films. Speaking of Roger Corman, we have a documentary here. Yes, I know it's not technically a horror film, but Roger Corman launched the careers of so many directors, and he has so many horror films under his belt. I thought it was at least worth mentioning him at least once. Probably the most legendary producer of all time, Roger Corman. I'm still amazed that he is alive and he's still making exploitation today, which is good for him and good for everybody, really. Morons from Outer Space, Alien from LA, The Man from Planet X, and The Angry Red Planet. Oh my god. A couple of Japanese ones here. Destroy All Planets and Attack of the Monsters. I love these kaiju clashes. These are so great. Frankenstein Conquers the World, or Frankenstein vs. Baragon. There's actually 2 titles here. It's one movie though, I checked. Oh my god! Oh wow, there's 2 discs. The original Japanese feature and the US release. And special features disc. Whoa, this is an interesting set. And it is now broken. This is a travesty. Okay, well. We have The Phantom of the Opera. Sealed. I don't know why it's sealed. Let's open it right now, shall we? Where are my keys? In my pocket. Here we go. Right now. Oh yeah. Opening it now. I got this at good old Amoeba Records. No, I did not. I got this. Yes, I did. Amoeba in LA. Sorry, my mind is all over the place today, as it has been lately. Phantom of the Opera. Inside this. Shoot, we have the little tape here on the top. If you don't want to see me opening this, please, just fast forward. Actually, fast forward this entire video, because it's probably really bad. Phantom of the Opera. Oh my god. Ooh, look at that set in there. You got a nice little DVD action. Oh, and we have another one here with, I'm guessing, the special features. It's called the Phantom of the Opera Ultimate Edition. And this is the one with Carl Laemmle and Lon Chaney, of course. Cool set. Glad I just opened it for the first time. Probably not going to watch it for a while, but I still opened it. Psycho 2, 3, and 4. And my mom got me this set for Christmas last year, and I just love her for it. The Universal Classic Monsters sets. This would be a good thumbnail right here. The complete 30 film collection. It has all of them. It has everything. All that you need. Of course, Universal made more monster films, like The Black Cat, which isn't included in here. But it's like the Universal monsters. You know what I'm saying? Dracula, Frankenstein, a Wolfman, stuff like that. And it even includes the Bud Abbott and the Lou Costello films as well. Like Abbott and Costello, Meet the Mummy, Meet Frankenstein, and Meet the Invisible Man. Does it have They Meet the Creature? Oh, I don't think it does. Hold on. There is a film where Abbott and Costello meet the creature. Unless I'm tripping. It does not. I'm going to need to find it. This is not the complete 30 film collection. This is a lie. I'm going to grab a new stack. Okay, on to our next stack here. You would never guess that I'm filming this after about 5 hours from being gone. But here we go. 4 movies. Another one of those freaking weird 4-packs or like 50-packs or multi-packs. 4 movies. This one includes Silent Night, Deadly Night, and not the 80s one. It's a different one. It's a weird one. Don't Look in the Basement, Satan's School for Girls, and of course, House on Haunted Hill, our favorite movie. Okay, now we're going to start getting into the movies that I've actually seen. You know, a lot of the movies that we talked about before, I hadn't seen most of them, or they were just new, brought into my collection, but these are ones that I specifically bought either to watch right away, or that I had seen, new, and loved, so I just had to have it in my collection. Texas Chainsaw 2, Dennis Hopper. I got to meet Bill Moseley, and sadly, I did not have him sign a Texas Chainsaw thing. I had him sign a House of a Thousand Corpses poster. I should have had him sign something from Texas Chainsaw 2, because I absolutely love this movie. It's a fantastic sequel, and it doesn't really get enough love. It came from outer space. I purely watched this one just because Richard O'Brien mentions it in Science Fiction Double Feature, the opening song of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I just had to watch it. And you know what? It's actually kind of cool. There's a really cool space monster. There's some neat looking shots. I don't know. It's just a cool little space monster movie from Universal. And that one doesn't get enough love either. Now, of course, gets a lot of love because, as rightfully so as well, George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, the original. It's now time to talk about the original. I was just watching a video where Red Letter Media was talking about this on their review thing, and oh my god, this movie is just fantastic. I don't really need to go into much detail or explain the plot. Either you haven't seen it or you have, and if you haven't, then just go watch it right away. Just go into it, just knowing nothing. That's probably the best way to watch it. Watch Night of the Living Dead though first, because oh, speaking of Night of the Living Dead, here we go. Now I have a couple versions of this one, as probably most of you do. But this is the first one I bought, and it's just your ordinary thing. There's like no special features. A biography and lobby poster, if you count those. But Night of the Living Dead, it's the classic. I really need to get it on Criterion. I keep seeing it in like stores I go to in Barnes & Noble, and I'm like, maybe next time. And there's never a next time. The Day the Earth Stood Still. This one is sealed, but I have seen this movie. Michael Rennie was ill the day the Earth stood still. I saw this one a really long time ago, and I don't remember it quite too much, but I know there's this Klaatu guy, and a giant spaceship, and really cool stuff like that. Oh my god, it's House on Haunted Hill! Who would have guessed? And the Bat. I actually have seen the Bat as well. That's an interesting one. There's like this murderer bat guy that's like going around and like clawing at doors and stuff like that. And Vincent Price is just kind of stuck in the middle of it. Even though he's not really like the main character, he's kind of like a side. He plays like this doctor kind of guy. But very strange movie, that one. And he has a gun in it. I don't know. Friday the 13th, the Ultimate Collection. Because I am poor. I cannot afford the awesome Scream Factory one that came out last year. So I bought the $20 Walmart one. I mean, it still has the same movies, and they might not look as good of quality or condition, or Friday the 13th Part 3 3D might not come with any glasses, but still, a fine collection to have of one of the finest horror films series of all time. And I heard that legal battle, all those legal financial battles, is coming to an end, and we might actually be seeing some Friday the 13th content soon, hopefully, maybe. Oh god. Lucio Fulci's Zombie. Bought this one on Black Friday from Fry's Electronics right before they closed down for good. But Zombie, oh my god, what a scene. Who would ever think zombies would come on boats? I didn't. Tobe Hooper's The Funhouse. I feel like I've talked about this one a little bit before, but it's basically just about a couple of kids. They're like, I wonder what it would be like if we could spend the night inside of a carnival. So they basically created the very first ever spending 24 hours overnight challenge in a funhouse, in a carnival. It's so much fun. The Exorcist, the scariest movie ever made? Maybe. I don't know. It's not as spooky today as it probably was way back then. There's been so much more that's come out since the time. What was this? Made 40 years ago, probably? 1970s, yeah. But still terrifying. You know, if you don't think this movie is even the slightest bit spooky, I have no comment. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, this is one that is definitely still scary. Rex Reed says it's the most horrifying motion picture he has ever seen. I don't know who Rex Reed is, but I like the sound of his name, so I'm going to trust him. Oh my god. Mandy, I need a Blu-ray one of this. There's like no special features on here. I need a Blu-ray. I need the axe too. That the old guy from Predator gives him. What was that guy's name again? Bill Duke. Yes, Bill Duke. And Richard Brake is in this as well, and he's in a lot of good movies. He's kind of playing the villain. He's a great-looking villain guy. House of Wax. I love that opening scene. Everything's burning down. Don't really remember much of the other movie, though, or too much after that. Abbott and Costello, Meet Frankenstein. Oh my god. Now, this is one that is absolutely amazing. I know it's Quentin Tarantino's favorite horror/comedy film. I mean, when you think of horror and comedy, I think of Young Frankenstein, Shaun of the Dead. But this might take the cake, because this movie is just, oh my god, it's so funny and before its time, and I don't know, the ultimate crossover between horror and comedy legends. And look at that, a 4-pack of some of your favorite Universal monsters. This was before I got the giant 30-disc set that we were talking about before. So I watched all those, and then I got the disc set, and I was like, hey, The Bloody Pit of Horror. I have no idea where I found this. Oh, you know what? It might have came from that giant collection that I bought from the thrift store. But a very strange movie. It's about a couple of people go over to a giant mansion for some reason, and they're just kind of like looking around, and then they're like, oh snap, there's people that still live here, and there's like, it's kind of like a cursed place, and oh my god, there's a dungeon, and murder, and stuff like that happens. Yeah, oh god. Okay, this is one I recently just ordered from eBay because you can't find it anywhere else. There's no Blu-ray, there's no nothing. Bad Taste. Peter Jackson, come on now, make a Blu-ray, make a 4K. We all want it. Bad Taste. And I've been wanting to find Brain Dead or Dead Alive. But you just can't find these. You just gotta order them. You gotta find them somewhere online. Bad Taste, though, there's like no special features or anything else on it. But actually, you know what there is? There's like a little behind-the-scenes documentary thing. That was kind of cool. The funniest and goriest cult movie of all time. It might be. Funny and gory, though not as gory as Peter Jackson's Dead Alive, but The Pit and the Pendulum. I recently just watched this one. It wasn't bad. It was pretty good. You know that classic scene where everybody's thinking of, where the giant pendulum axe is swinging and the person is looking back and forth. I first saw it in Madhouse, and I was like, ooh, I gotta watch that movie. Willy's Wonderland. Hey, look, this is a new release, newer at least. It came out this year, and you know what? A lot of people hate this one. I liked it. I mean, I bought it, so you know I liked it. Yeah, Willy's Wonderland. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. My dad's friend was terrified of this movie as a kid, and rightfully so. Leatherface is scary, okay? Day of the Dead, the third of it in George Romero's saga of zombie films. Oh, what is this? Day of the Dead. Hey, look at it. There's a little file here. This talks about zombies and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Must have forgotten that it was in here. But anyways, Day of the Dead. I was going through all of the George Romero films with my brother and sister earlier, and we haven't watched Day of the Dead yet, but I think they might like it. Ju-On, the original Grudge. The House That Dripped Blood. This is one that like nobody talks about, but I believe it's a like a horror anthology type of film where there's a bunch of short stories and stuff like that. Has Christopher Lee, has Peter Cushing, and it is a Hammer film. No, it's not. Castle Hill Productions. It's basically a Hammer film. Come on now. It has all the elements there. This is a Jason 3-pack with Goes to Hell, X, and Freddy vs. Jason. This is another Frankenstein box set with all the Frankenstein films and a lot of special features on here as well. The Invisible Man and The Mummy. Todd Browning's Freaks. Oh my god. I have definitely talked about this before. One of the most bizarre, wild, entertaining, sad, funny, I guess, grotesque movies of all time. And it was baffling when it came out at the time, Todd Browning was just under so much fire, it practically ruined his movie career. Even though if it was made today, which it wouldn't be at all, if it was made today, I'm pretty sure it would have elevated his career. Other than sink it down, it would have pushed him up because of all, like, the social commentary aspects, I guess, of it. Unspeakable Horror. I found this at a thrift stop, of course. And it has Hunchback of Notre Dame, Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the 1921, with John Barrymore. But yeah, 3 great silent films there. And they don't look in bad quality, which is good. And the original King Kong from 1933? 33, yes, I got it right. I don't know how I remember all these dates. It just kind of happens. Let me go grab another stack. Alright, next we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space, a DVD, another midnight movie. I should probably have it over there with my other ones. But Killer Clowns, one of my coworkers absolutely loves this movie. It's his favorite movie of all time. And if you're out there and you're watching this, I love Killer Clowns as well. I wish they would make a sequel. Or maybe not. They would probably mess it up. But a sequel, like with, you know, bringing some of the characters that survived back, well, man, that would be pretty cool, actually. And they're all still alive, you know? The Kyoto brothers could definitely make one. Stephen King's It's, of course, the Tim Curry one. Actually, I kind of think it's better than the new ones. Just saying, especially Part 2. Something about Part 2 where I wasn't that intrigued. Chapter 2, with, you know, Bill Hader and everybody. I mean, Bill Hader's great, but the rest of the cast is bleh. Stephen King's It, the classic. I like it. I almost love it, you know? And Tim Curry is fantastic. He's fantastic in every movie he's in. He steals the show. Okay. Color Out of Space. Another Nicolas Cage movie. Another one that came out, I believe, late last year. Or early last year? I can't remember. Probably early last year. Color Out of Space. I didn't see it on Shudder or in the theaters or anything like that, though I wish I had seen it in the theaters. But I bought the Blu-ray just to watch it. And I was not disappointed. H.P. Lovecraft, Richard Stanley came out of retirement to make this movie. And if you don't know who Richard Stanley is, oh god, you have there's so much out there on him. Color Out of Space, great little movie there. And I need to pick up Prisoners of the Ghost Line when it comes out. And Pig, even though Pig's not a horror movie, it's still a great Nicolas Cage movie. The man's seriously making a comeback, and I'm all here for it. Next up, we have Krampus. Oh, yeah. There was Horror Nights Maze of Krampus a couple years ago. One of the first years I went to Horror Nights. And, oh my god, it must have been my favorite maze there, because I still remember it to this day. It looked exactly like this movie. And a great Christmas movie to watch during Christmas time. There's that whole opening scene where there's the people are going shopping on Black Friday, and it's madness, and people are shoving each other over. That just gets me hyped for the new movie. What's it called? Gosh, there's gonna be a new horror film with Bruce Campbell coming out later this year. Something, but it looks like it's about Black Friday. I think it might just be called Black Friday. The Lighthouse. This is probably one of the biggest upsets I've ever had while it was in its initial run, because I did not get to see it in a theater. This was a couple years back when I didn't have as much freedom as a person. I mean, one could say I don't have much freedom now, but that's a talk for another time. But The Lighthouse, I wish I would have seen it in theaters. My mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, any of my friends, nobody liked the trailer. They were like, that's cool. Anyways, but I'm like, you seeing this trailer? You seeing what I'm seeing? You seeing these shots? You see how creepy it looks? How different it looks? What do you guys want to go see? Barney and Wally? I mean, I love Barney and Wally, but you know what I'm saying? Like, The Lighthouse was so different and so interesting. I bought this Blu-ray months after it came out just to watch it. And I was sad that it got snubbed at the Oscars. I was glad that it got the recognition it deserved at the Independent Spirit Awards. But, and Aubrey Plaza is a great host. I'm getting sidetracked. I always get sidetracked when talking about movies. But The Lighthouse, oh my god. Okay, now we're getting to more of the Blu-rays here. Phantasm, the first one. Creepy guy with a silver ball. The Alien Quadrilogy, the first 4 Alien movies. Haven't seen 3 or Resurrection, but Alien and Aliens are top tier. We were talking about Richard Brake earlier, and he's making a return in 3 from Hell. I didn't mind this one too much. Of course, House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects are slightly better, slightly more at the top for me in terms of brutality, and overall just some more entertaining story. But there are many people that I've talked to personally that like this one better than the first 2, including my mom and a couple friends. Well, one friend. I guess 2 people I know like that one better than the other ones. But The Shining. Not going to talk about The Shining. Everybody has talked and analyzed and looked at The Shining. There was that documentary, Room 237, that just went way too into The Shining. I mean, god dang, how much do you have to, like, it's just, the thing with, like, video essays and movie theories and stuff like that is that I think sometimes they could be over-analyzing something. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's these movie essays and there's these video essays that just are hours and hours and hours long talking about one thing. And sure, you gotta admire the work that they put in and stuff like that. Heck, even I've made a video essay or 2. But, I don't know, I just feel like sometimes they go a little bit too crazy. And Room 237 is an example of how not to do it. Because, god dang, they just went too far in some places, to quote George Lucas. Scream 4, oh my god. Okay, we'll just talk about all the Scream movies here. Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Still Screaming. And Scream the Inside Story. 2 documentaries I have not seen. Huh. Okay, well, Scream, the series, is actually, honestly, pretty top tier horror saga. I think all the installments are good, even though 2 and 3 are slightly forgettable, even though there's a great Jay and Silent Bob cameo in one of them. I forget which one. I think it was 3. Yeah, I can't wait for the new one coming out next year. Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Ooh, we were talking about how number 3 is a masterpiece. Well, how do you think I feel about these? Evil Dead is coming back to theaters October 7th, which is in a couple days. Might just be when this video comes out. For the 40th anniversary, and I really want to go see it, especially because my dad has never seen the Evil Dead movies. But me, my brother, and my sister, we all love these movies. I showed it to them, of course, and I was glad that they liked it and they got into it. And Bruce Campbell is a guy that I would really want to meet in person and shake his hand. Child's Play, the original, the best one. Psycho, the original, the best one. The Fog and The Howling. 2 interesting movies, one by John Carpenter and one by Joe Dante. Beep. The Fog has a lot of fog in it, and Howling has a lot of werewolves and howling in it. And they're both pretty cool. Herschel Gordon Lewis, The Blood Trilogy. It's not really like a trilogy, you know. You don't need to watch these in sequential order. That's just the name of it. That's just the name of they gave this set of new movies, okay? But we got Blood's Feast, which is about like a like a chef guy who cuts up people and like serves them as food. We got 2000 Maniacs, which is about like a small town and they just like kill people. That's it. That's it. And Color Me Blood Red, which is probably the most interesting one, about an artist who uses blood as his main color because he likes the shade of that red better than all the other paints on his color palette. So he just kills people for fun. Here we go. This is a great trilogy right here. House of Thousand Corpses, Devil Rejects, and 3 from Hell. All 3 of them in one thing. I was so glad when I found this on Blu-ray because I was like, alright, yes. The perfect set. And I know there's a better one. There's like this box set, but I don't care. It has all the same special features. It looks just as cool. Doctor Sleep. A lot of people don't like this movie, but guess what? I do. I thought it was a fantastic sequel to The Shining. It didn't overdo itself. It wasn't like, you know, it didn't overstay its welcome. The ending was a little strange. It was a little like, okay, they might have went too far again in some places. But I don't know. I thought it was worthy enough. I have Army of Darkness again on Blu-ray. I forgot that I have it on Blu-ray, but I'm glad that I do. Oh god. Okay. Cannibal Holocaust. It's one of the most messed up, probably the most, I can't say the most messed up movie, because there's probably even more messed up. Yes, there is. Okay, I'm already thinking of one or two. But Cannibal Holocaust is absolutely wild. Actually insane. Like, a crazy person made this movie. The one that goes all the way. Yes, indeed. Due to its shocking and violent subject matter, no one under 17 should view this film. Oh well, I already broke that rule, I guess. The most controversial movie ever made. It's a beautiful set. It has the soundtrack on CD. It has these awesome covers and all these great special features. Even though there's no making of. There's not a making of feature on this epic Blu-ray here. Come on, Grindhouse Releasing. What are you doing? Cannibal Holocaust. I don't know if I've told the story, but me and my mom were like looking around on Shudder, and they had Cannibal Holocaust on there, and I was like, "Oh my god, they have Cannibal Holocaust on Shudder. We should watch that." And she was like, "Oh, what is it?" And I'm like, let's watch the trailer." And we watched the trailer, and the trailer doesn't give too much away, which is good. But it doesn't give too much away, so she was like, "Oh, it looks like it's like this jungle movie where people go on an island and they get kind of eaten up, like that new movie, The Green Inferno." And I was like, "Yeah, except it's not really like The Green Inferno." She's like, "Why not?" And I'm like, "Let's just watch it." And we watched it. She couldn't even make it like a half hour in. She was like, Xander, why are you showing me this? This is no. I don't want to see animals being killed. I don't want to see all these gruesome murders." And I'm like, "But mother, you love horror movies. You look at our house is covered in horror stuff and memorabilia. Halloween 3 is like her favorite movie of all time." And I'm like, "Look, you love horror. You love all this gore stuff." She's like, "Yeah, but I don't want to see animals getting killed. And I don't want to see stuff that looks actually real." And I'm like, "But this movie isn't real. You know, this movie is a movie." And she was like, "Well, it looks too real for me. Turn it off right now. I'm getting mad." And I did. We turned it off. She never finished it. That's my Cannibal Holocaust story. The one movie that my horror movie mom could not finish. She absolutely hates it. And so then I bought a shirt of it. But that's my story. Reanimator. Oh god, I have not opened this one either. Oh, should we open it? Should we see what's inside Reanimator? Okay, I think we should. Let's open it right now. This is the Arrow Video copy of Reanimator. I think I got this for my birthday as well. My mom got it for me, and she has never seen it before, but she knew I really liked the movie, and I do. I've only seen it once, but god, I need to see it again. Why is it taking me so long to open this? I've opened hundreds of these, literally. Okay, here we go. But yeah, one of my friends from work, also his favorite movie. Here we go, the Reanimator. Oh, that's cool. Look at inside there. The disc is all Reanimator-ish. Got a nice little postcard there to make you want to buy more movies from Arrow. Oh, they have Tetsuo, the Iron... I gotta buy Tetsuo. I'm gonna look into the price of that. And on the back here, if you take out this, they have the classic 80s poster on the back there, in case you want to flip it out. But I like this new design, this new artwork that they made. Anyways, that's Reanimator. God, what an ending. And then I got Killer Clowns from Outer Space, also the Arrow version. Guess how much I got this one for? $7. It was just sitting there, an Arrow movie for $7. And I knew I had already owned Killer Clowns before. But when you come across a deal like that, you gotta snatch that up, you know what I'm saying? And lastly, well, not lastly actually, but another great horror sets, Nightmare on Elm Street. To be honest, I've only seen the first 3 films. I was going into a bit of a Nightmare on Elm Street marathon and watching 1, 2, and 3 all over again. But then I forgot that I was doing that until right now. And then I just started watching the Saw series for some reason. Oh, because I wanted to see Spiral. And so I binged the Saw series, and I just kind of left this one in the dust. So I haven't seen Dream Master, Dream Child, Final Nightmare, New Nightmare, but I want to. I really want to. And I love the first 3, especially the third one. And I have a cool poster of it signed by the whole cast. If you want to see me meet like all these horror people from conventions and stuff, I have a lot of videos like that on my channel. Well, not a lot, but some. Some. Black Sunday, Mario Bava. A great dark movie. Gosh, there's a subgenre for this that I forget the name of. European art film, Gothic. It's a Gothic movie. But yeah, really cool one. I haven't opened this one either, but I won't waste your time opening that. The House is October Built. Again, another movie I got to meet the entire cast and crew of, including Mr. Bobby Rowe. So if you're out here watching this video, thank you. You're a really cool guy. And so is everybody else in the cast, even though I feel like he was the nicest one. House is October Built. I just bought this one actually like a week or 2 ago. But it's kind of underrated, I think. The second one is not as memorable or as great, but they tried. But this first one, it's just about a group of people who are going, a group of friends actually, who are just like, hey, you know what? This holiday season, let's go find the craziest mazes that we could find, the craziest haunted houses. And they're all like, sure. So then they travel and they drive across the country looking for the craziest mazes, but one goes a little too far. And I don't want to give away any more, but yeah. Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2. Clive Barker, Doug Bradley, great movie. Ashley Lawrence, yeah. Motel Hell. This one has, what's his name? Rory Calhoun, that's right, the old cowboy man. As Farmer Vincent Fritters. It takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent's fritters. That was the line. Motel Hell. If you want to see a crazy pig head man with a chainsaw slicing up somebody, that is the movie to watch. The Saw series. This was the collection that I watched. All of the Saw movies, except for Spiral, of course. I bet they're going to re-release it. 9-film collection this time was Spiral with Chris Rock, which I didn't mind too much. I didn't mind the Chris Rock movie. It was dumb, of course, and the ending you could see coming from a mile away. And Samuel Jackson was kind of... it was random. It was a random movie. The Omen. Is this the remake? Yeah. I haven't seen this one yet, because I want to see the original. And Shudder. Wow, look at that. They have Shudder. Is that Ewan McGregor? No, it's not. That looks like him. Joshua Jackson. Why did he look so much like Ewan McGregor in that photo? Okay, I don't know. I haven't seen Shudder. Anyways, it's time to get to... Oh, and we have, The Crow, which is kind of like a horror movie. I saw it and I was like, this is kind of like a 90s metal, music video. But, Eric Draven, Brandon Lee, rest in peace. What a performance for that one, actually. Now it's time to talk about my favorite horror movie series of all time. And, I think you know what's coming. That's right. That's right. It's Halloween. The only series that matters. Just kidding. All Halloween and horror movies matter, but Halloween takes the cake for me. I have so much Michael Myers merch. It's crazy. I got the masks. I got the knives. I got the autographs. You name it, I got it. You know what I'm saying? But my Michael Myers movie collection is kind of big, so we're gonna go through them. This was the first one that I bought back when I was a dumb little child buying movies for ridiculous prices at Barnes & Noble. I'm pretty sure I spent like $30 on this DVD, not knowing that you could find it at any thrift store for $2.99. I got this for 30th anniversary though. Amazing looking box set. Has a little mask in there. Bunch of special features. Comes with Halloween 1, 4, and 5. And yeah, limited to 20,000 copies. I'm glad I have my hands on that. We got Halloween 2 on Blu-ray. Yeah, Rick Rosenthal made one of the best Halloween sequels and the worst Halloween sequel. So, we'll talk about that later. Halloween 3. My mom gave me this collector's edition Blu-ray, and right after she did, she was like, "Why did I give that to you?" And I'm like, "What? Why?" She's like, "That's my favorite movie, and I just gave away like the coolest cover, coolest edition." I'm like, "Yes, you did, but it's mine now." Halloween 2. I'm going in like not in a good order, but Halloween 2, Rob Zombie found this at a garage sale. Sorry, at a swamp meet by my stadium Qualcomm, or at least that's what it used to be called here in San Diego. I don't really remember this one too much. There was a lot of weird flashbacks and stuff with horses and Michael Myers like mask like coming off. He had the mask off, right? Sorry, this is spoiler. Sorry. I don't know what Rob Zombie was doing, but I admire the man for making the movie his own. Halloween 25 Years of Terror. This is just a great documentary, and they just have so many special features, including Horror's House Grounds with Sean. Yeah, and Sean Clark. Sorry, Mr. Sean Clark. I met him in person before once. But yeah, Halloween 2018. Halloween Kills. The sequel to this one. And the original. Coming out soon. October 22nd. Was that a plug? Maybe. Or was it October 15th that's coming out? I can't remember. Sorry. Not a plug, so I don't remember stuff. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. The producer's cut! I was looking forever for the producer's cut. And all the ones I saw online were like for crazy prices for some reason. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay for that. And then I found a couple that weren't too crazy of prices. But then I have to like ask for my mom and dad's like credit card. And I was a little child, so I didn't have a credit card back then. And yes, I was a little child looking at these movies and looking for the producer's cut. Because I saw Halloween 1 when I was like in 5th grade. And I've been obsessed with the series ever since. And I've been looking for that producer's cut forever and forever. And finally, I just saw it at a store one day. And I'm like, oh, there it is. So then I bought it. And, oh my god, the producer's cut is so much better. It blows the original cut out of the water. They cut out like half of Donald Pleasance's scenes. And who would do that? It was his final movie and you cut out half of his work? My god. What are you doing? Halloween 25, 25th Anniversary Edition. I don't know how this one's different from any of the other editions, but another Halloween DVD, Jesus Christ, with a different cover. Okay. Another Halloween 2, but this time a DVD, and a really weird Photoshop cover. Oh my god, what were they thinking? Halloween H2O, not a bad sequel. If they made a sequel of Halloween H2O and called it Halloween H4O 20 years later, I wouldn't mind that, because this timeline is not bad. Though the mask is bad, but Halloween Resurrection. Now, I have a lot of hatred for this movie, mostly because it's absolutely retarded. But Halloween Resurrection, I don't give many movies terribly, terribly bad reviews, because I'm a lover of all cinema. But when a movie just trashes the audience, the fans, the story, the lore, the sequels, disregards anything that came before it, it makes a mockery and a joke out of the entire franchise and the characters and the actors themselves, it deserves a 1 out of 10. It deserves a 0 out of 10 stars. Halloween Resurrection is that movie. I feel bad for anybody involved in this. Rick Rosenthal directed this. It's crazy. I can't believe this movie was made. It's like, you hear the plot out loud. Michael Myers is like being trapped in his childhood home. Well, technically he's there already, but like, you know, and then they're making like some sort of like weird like survive the night reality game show kind of thing with Tyra Banks and Busta Rhymes, and I won't spoil who dies in the beginning, but it's just so upsetting. It's so... I hate this movie. I don't even know why. I have this to complete the collection, I hate this movie. Sorry, this video must be an hour long. God dang it. Halloween 3 film set. My mom and dad bought me this, knowing that I love the Halloween movies. And then I looked at the back, and I'm like, I have all these. But I'll just say thank you anyways. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for buying me this for your birthday or something like that. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Again, I said I admire the man for making the film his own unique vision. And if I had to make a spin-off or a remake of any film, let's just say I had to, I needed to get a paycheck, I would make it in the style of Rob Zombie. Not his specific style, but if I had to, I'd just go completely different. Go completely out there. I wouldn't care who hates it. Just make it completely different. A lot of remakes nowadays, and sequels and spin-offs, there's no, like, fresh take, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it might look different, and it might, like, you know, all the actors are different, but the story is still there, and you know what's going to happen, and it's mostly beat by beat, partially the same thing. I'm just thinking of the Disney remakes, all their live-action ones. It's the same exact thing, but it's just, bleh, it looks worse. Rob Zombie did something interesting, and he got the original movie and said, you know what, I love this story, let's add on to it, let's make it our own, let's shoot it differently, let's make it more gory, let's do all these things, and people hated it. There's a lot of Rob Zombie fans that do love it, and I'm one of them. I actually do really like this movie. 2, not so much. He went a little off the deep end on that one, but this one is... I think it's top tier. Not top tier, but it's tier. And then of course we're going to end it on this one. The Halloween, the complete collection. I told you, I'm poor. I can't afford the giant box sets from Scream Factory and stuff like that. So I got this one. And this one does just fine for me. Anyways though, Halloween's the best movie ever made. Look at all these other movies that we could review and talk about and laugh about later. I wasn't sure if I should go through my laser discs in this, because I have a lot of horror movie laser discs. So this is just going to be a Blu-ray and DVD review. Let me know if you want to see a laser disc collection, because that, oh my god, laser disc collection. That could be a whole new video for a whole new day. Anyways, my channel is dying, so if you would like to subscribe, please do so. It's greatly appreciated. Well, anyways, I'm going to sit down, have a root beer, and I gotta edit this thing. It's gonna be straight up with you. It's gonna be terrible to edit, terrible to upload. My Wi-Fi, it's terrible. Anyways, excuse me. I got inspired from making these videos. From all the you guys out there, all you great YouTubers and stuff like that. Cool Duder. He's the only one I can think of right now. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I love you and I appreciate you. Spooky month is still ongoing. We're posting videos almost every day, all throughout October. Halloween themed videos, spooky clips, and frightening flicks all month long. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.